So Lance has been doing some really cool stuff with using a glass bottom. And he will be talking about that. I've never seen such a thing before, but it seems to be getting great results, and yeah.
Okay, we'll just use me, I'll come over there.
By the way, just a warning to everyone, this is being filmed, so just if you're concerned about being filmed, you should just be aware of that, and only this area is getting filmed. So.
Or run away now.
Okay, very good.
Okay. Hello, okay, I'm Lance Squire, or if you see me on the the news groups, Comb is the usual handle I go by. And my original problem was that getting glass plates to print on.
Chris, can we turn off the music?
Oh, music, yeah.
Yeah.
I can sing the music.
No, but
everybody run away then.
Yeah. By the way, everybody, just for getting us good quality of for the film, it would be awesome if we could just be quiet if you're not asking a question or something. Thank you very much.
Anyway, so I originally got window glass, which was fine for printing PLA on because the temperature is not too hot. But of course, when I got it up to a temperature to print the ABS plastic on, it just cracked right down the middle. So I knew that wasn't going to work well. You can get tempered glass ordered. How much was yours again? Sorry?
Oh, I'm using picture frame glass.
You are?
But I'll talk about how I got it tinted.
Okay. Ooh, okay. Well, mine cracked. But anyways, the window glass and picture frame glass, it might work, might not, depending because of the temperature. It's not made for these temperatures, so generally you have to get tempered glass, which is a bit more expensive. However, while I was searching around the news groups, I found out RepRap has made a name for himself in the 3D printer world so far. You can look up his stuff, good stuff. He's using what are called travats, which are little glass plates for your kitchen that you put hot pots on. They're very available in, I think, Great Britain where he is, or Europe at least. But I couldn't find them here until I searched on the internet. But first, before I even tried ordering it, because I wanted to try it, I found one in our kitchen hiding in a cupboard.
That's awesome.
I didn't even know what it was called until I did the search. And it's got a nice glossy finish, as you see, but that's the underside. The top side you're supposed to use is all knobbly. But I threw this on the bed because it was just small enough to fit, but not quite wide enough, and heated it up and printed on it. It was beautiful. So I did another search on the internet for travats in Canada, and because I went to all the kitchen shops and found nothing. So I did a search, and I found that Bed Bath & Beyond was clearing out travats made out of glass with neat little monograms on them. Unfortunately, because they're on clearance, you can't get yours. But you can get X, Y, Z, well not Y, I think Y is out, but various letters, as you can see. These worked absolutely fine, beautiful. It gives you a satin finish compared to the complete gloss mine had. But they do have a slight downside. The monogramming comes off on the plastic. So before you use these, you might want to take the paint off with some paint remover, or you can just put up with that for a little while because after a while it stops coming off and it just prints the satin finish. Anyways, these, instead of being ordered, are really available for about $7 a piece plus shipping from the Bed Bath & Beyond website. And they're just the perfect size. They just fit right on, right within the lines of the print heat bed. And there you go.
What size is your print heat bed?
A standard precious size, 200 millimeters by 200 millimeters.
Awesome. Thank you very much for talking. I am very glad to know about that, and I think that when I get my Malthus going, I'm going to go and use glass like you do. That's awesome.
Thank you.
And now next we are going to have Adam with the giant RepRap. I don't know if you've seen it, but I don't remember seeing such a big RepRap before, so it's awesome. Thank you, Adam.
Hello, I'm Adam. So I'm in the forums. A Plavins is my name on the forums, if you're looking. I've been building this machine for about over a year now, and I've encountered pretty much every problem that there is to encounter. So I've blown up my electronics, had parts crack and whatever. But the extruder was like the big thing, and I've actually made my own extruder, and I'm selling them now. I've contacted Thing Farm North America, the guy there, and he's wanting to buy some of my extruders. So it works 100% of the time, never jams, never breaks. I leave it for hours and hours and hours, and it works just fine. I'm printing on glass, like picture frame glass, just the normal glass. I cracked one by going over 110 degrees Celsius for printing on ABS. PLA works great, but I was able to get, actually first I tried Kapton tape on PCB board, copper board, and you can bend the copper board and the parts just come off, but you get lines where the tape meets up. So I didn't really like that, but I saw on the forums that someone had made this ABS glue, it's called. They dissolve parts, like failed prints and pieces of filament in acetone, and you end up with this slurry. I'll actually show you here. And with this, you can spread this on the glass, and it forms like a thin film that sticks very well to the glass, and it sticks at 100 degrees C, so it's below the breaking temperature of the glass. And the parts, when they've cooled, they come right off, and they have a nice glossy finish on them. So that's about it. If you want an extruder, let me know.
Yeah,
that's
what can we buy them?
I don't know, this week, I guess.
Awesome.
I don't have any with me today, but I can explain to you. Actually, if anyone wants, I can give them the plans too. I'm not out to make money. I support the open source community too. So, like, if you want the plans, I can give you the plans, and you can make your own if you have like a lathe or an Afghan lathe. So, but if you don't, buy one.
That's totally awesome. You should go and get, when we're done, we should go and get you, I'll write a blog post and we'll make sure that we can get a link to your designs or something there so that anybody who's here can go that.
Cool. How did you get the extruder so reliable? Like, what did you change?
The main issue, like I started printing with PLA, and PLA expands a lot more than ABS, and the main issue is the junction between the metal, like brass or stainless steel, and the insulator, say PTFE. There's a gap, there's a very tiny gap, and the filament expands into that gap and creates a plug, and then that plug is not able to be pushed into the heater barrel. So I corrected that by putting, like I have a lathe at home, so you just put a 45-degree chamfer on the PTFE, and that fits into a female 45 on the brass barrel. And the PTFE has a bore that's smaller than the brass barrel, and that prevents it from expanding into that void. And the increase in size prevents the plastic from expanding up, and it's able to push no matter what, as long as it's, like, the only time I have a problem is when the temperature is too low, and like you can't expect it to push solid plastic through plastic frames. That's awesome. Other than that, it's 100% reliable. Never jams. I've run 10 pounds of filament through it. No problems.
I had a huge amount of troubles printing PLA, so I'm really excited to hear that. I will have to get an extruder from you.
What's your preferred firmware?
I'm using, actually I was using Sprinter for a very long time. It was great. And then I started running into these communication errors. It would take pauses of like 2 to 5 seconds every once in a while. And someone said that Marlin is a lot better because it has like a forward-looking G-code. So it stores like the G-codes ahead a few steps. And you get fewer pauses, you still get pauses. So I'm running Marlin. I have Ramps 1.5, Arduino Mega, Windows XP. What else? I'm using Skyforge to slice, and I'm using Interface to send G-codes over. And I'm working on getting the SD card because that apparently fixes all of the communication problems.
Awesome. Okay, thank you very much, Adam. So I see that I'm next. So what I wanted to talk about was, I actually spoke about this briefly at our last meetup. I've been doing some work with going in 3D printing lenses. And since the last meetup, I actually published in the Open Hardware Journal. and I will be just showing you some of the results. So the basic idea is that we want to go and 3D print a lens, and we want to go and use that as a mold, or the shape of a lens, and use that as a mold for going and producing our the actual lenses. And of course, when we go and we 3D print it, there's lots of gaps. So the first, in addition to sanding it, you still have holes, and that would it's not good enough. So what I did was I went and I pulled Saran wrap over it, and that goes and fills in all the gaps. And it's basically linear interpolation between all the bumps, right? So you can see that the difference between over here, you can see that the difference between the steps and the linear interpolated one, it's huge. So now let's see what the results were. I went and I made molds, as you can see here, and then we went and we actually made some. And here, let me turn off the lights for a second so that people can see that better. So you can see there's that lens, you can see distorting paper behind it, and then I have some slightly, that picture was really good, but I have some slightly less impressive pictures that show, this is far from a perfect technology. So we can go and focus light to a certain extent, and we can go and flip images, but there's obvious flaws. So there's obvious room for improvement. For example, one could go and try and work with a printer that's better than HackLab's MakerBot, and I suspect one would get much better results.